Do you, before we talk about Light of a Clear Blue Morning, which absolutely knocks me out, and I'm sure people listening will agree, or I hope they do at least, do you see a similarity in intent and feeling between country music and rhythm and blues?
I see a great similarity. I always did. I've heard it often said that there is a great similarity. I think that's because of the earthiness and the realism, the suffering and the pain and the way you express it. I think it's, like the old-time country things are simple stories told in a simple way. I think the country things now and the R&B things are like the things of mine. I like to think that it's ordinary stories told in an extraordinary way with extraordinary arrangements and, something that will really catch your attention. But it's still very simple. I've often said I like to think my music is very simple, but yet in a way it's kind of complicated because of the chord structure. I don't know music technically, so I just write totally from my heart and from my mind. But I think that it's simply complicated. We sort of touched on that before.
Yes, we did.
But it's still, that's really what it's like, because I never write anything that's not understood. I just can't. I'm not intelligent enough to write something deep enough to, that it wouldn't be understood. Because I'm the kind of person I like to hear something I understand. I don't like to have to figure it out. And like if I'm listening to something on the radio, I don't like to have to guess what it is they might be talking about. I like to know. So
you like direct communication.
And I like to write my songs that way. So at least, like I say, naturally, I would know personal feelings. And on this particular song, Light of a Clear Blue Morning, that's a very personal song. That is my own true feelings of when I started out on my own. And there were so many other things that had held me back and had bound my hands in so many ways. Not anybody's fault, just a matter of circumstances and freedom that I needed to feel. So when I thought, well, I'm going out on my own, I'm going to change management, I'm going to change agencies, I'm going to get a new group, and I'm going to do the things I feel like that I can do in addition to the things I'm already doing. So then I wrote the song. It's been a long, dark night, and I've been waiting for the morning. The part I like most about that song, which really tells it all, and it's really self-explanatory, is the last verse where it says, it's been a long, long time since I've known the taste of freedom, and the clinging vines that had me bound, I don't need 'em, 'cause I've been like a captured eagle, and an eagle's born to fly. And now that I've won my freedom like an eagle, I am eager for the sky. And every time, I sing that, I just feel it's just like being able to say, woo, I'm free, look at me,
right.
like I can fly, it's something I really, really enjoy. And that, personally, is my favorite song on the album. I don't know if it will do as good or if it is the best song in the album or not, but I just know, personally, it is the one that means the most to me.
Well, it depends on what people want from each particular song. I understand exactly what you're saying. Higher and Higher and My Love are nice performances and enjoyable and very entertaining and nice, but that is Dolly Parton expressing
that's me. It's self-expression.
herself. And
but I'm glad you like that, because I'd rather
very
you
much.
have complimented that song than any of the others because of its personal nature.
Holding On to You. That's an there's an interesting track on that song.
You like that?
I like that very much. I would like to know, while you were recording that song, were you aware that there was an interesting track on that, the rhythm and the beat of that?
Sure.
It's a very difficult song to peg as to what style it is. It's a nice blend.
But I like that. I like to write songs like that. And when I write, I usually write my own arrangements. When I do write, in fact, every song I write has its own arrangement. Like that, I just sit around, and pick licks, like on the lick on Jolene, the guitar lick, the down, see, da 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 da. Well, when I write songs, I put that in it. That's part of the personality of the song. But like Holding On to You, I just like that kind of a feel, that chom 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 kind of rhythm. It's just like something you can just really.
It's a
feel.
Universal feel.
But that is also, I think, my favorite song in the album is Light of a Clear Blue Morning. But I think the most commercial song, commercial meaning the most appealing to enough people. For a lot of times we use that expression, and the audience don't know what we mean by the most commercial. But a song liked by the majority of the people. It's simple enough. Everybody can sing it. Every local group can play it. It's got nothing involved about the chord changes, and it's just a real happy feeling, even though the words are not necessarily happy, but they're not necessarily sad either. It's just talking about, somebody being a fool, holding on to somebody that don't love them anyway, which happens all the time.
And I like Applejack.
Oh, I tell you a story about that. That's a true story. I love that. And I don't know if you know this or not, but the voices you heard on the background voices on Applejack, that's all the great people, not all the great people, but a number of the great people in country music. I wanted to put the people on something that had inspired me, that I think are still the best, no matter what anybody says. I mean, they have frontiered the way for people like me. But I had Roy Acuff, Kitty Wells, had Grandpa Jones, Chet Atkins, Minnie Pearl, and Hank Snow, Ernest Tubb. And, they just all came to the studio. My mama and daddy. I just wanted just something meaning something to me. I didn't know it'll be on the album, the credits will be on the album.
Yeah.
But that's a treasure to me. If that song never sold a nickel's worth, or this album never sold a nickel's worth, this is the greatest treasure of my life, this album. It has so much love and so much, it's just full of love, this album. All the people that were involved in it, the musicians. And
it's amazing that you told me now, because I didn't know that all those people were involved, either musically or just being there at the studio on Applejack. The feeling I get from that is that it's like a giant country gathering with good vibes, and everybody just, getting it on. Amazing that I got that impression without knowing the credits.
The reason
that all those people were.
On this particular song, where you hear the laughing and the talking.
Yes.
They didn't know we were ready to record, and so we was just involved in it. And then I'd say, "Okay, sing," and everybody just sing. And
so
we
it's a
only
natural
did it
thing.
once.
That is a real.
We
those
only
are real
did it.
sound effects.
And my mama, I can hear my mama laughing in the background. I can hear her talking, but I couldn't take that out in the mix. We had some discussion whether or not to just, punch in where they sing. I said, "Oh Lord, no, I can't take that out." And like when we finished the song, they all applauded just because they wanted to, because it was a joyful thing, and I wouldn't let them take that out either. I wanted to leave all that in.
That's wonderful.
Because
And it works.
the joy of music. That's what music is about. Something you enjoy with love in it. You can't punch a button and take out emotion. You don't overdub enthusiasm, as somebody once said to me. You just can't do it.
That's right.
And if you try to mix enthusiasm out of something, you're making a worse mistake. So even though a lot of people said, well, the song will be much better and be much better understood without the laughing and talking, that has nothing to do with anything. I said, oh, but it does. It has everything to do with it.
Absolutely.
If for no other reason, for myself.
And it would be foolish to, when you do capture that type of spontaneity and magic, to throw it away for technical
not
purposes.
me. I cannot do it. So that's...
so you've captured something very
yeah,
real.
That
very
is
real.
Yeah, it is very real. And like even on the last of that, if you'll listen real close on the tag, I heard Kitty didn't know he was recording, Kitty Wells, which I think she is wonderful. She's one of the sweetest people in the world. And she didn't know we was recording it. They thought we was just practicing it. And we were singing to the soundtrack, and I heard her say, I said, oh, that's fine. And she said, was that the soundtrack? And you can hear it on the thing, but I wouldn't take that out either. I thought, because nobody would have noticed it had I not brought it up, because it's so far down in the fade. But she said, is that the soundtrack? And I thought that was so sweet and so honest and so cute. They just thought we was practicing it, but it was such a good feeling.